Good morning, YouTubians. Pat at Card Scale Dreams. Model cars and coffee. Paul over at Left Coast Model Car Builds started the Sunday morning model cars and coffee. Really great way for us to, talk about model cars, whatever it may be. Maybe you're working on something, maybe no build that's special to you, or you just want to show something off. So today I'm going to show one of my first weathered builds that I ever built, and it didn't start off as a weathered build. Let's get coffee. I'll show you the model. So when I painted this car, I turned on. I have a fan slash heater, space heater, and so what I'd done, I'd finished painting it, and I wanted to put it in front of the fan and just keep the any kind of particles or whatnot off of it, right? So I figured if I put it in front of the fan, it would keep the air moving and nothing would settle on the freshly painted body. And so I turned it on, set it in front of the fan. I thought it was on fan setting. And I left for a couple hours. So little did I know, I turned it on to the lowest heat setting. So when I came back that day to check on it, just have a look at it, and the roof was bent in. The front was it wasn't as bad on the front as it was on the roof because the air was, going up, obviously, and it caught the roof really bad. There was a little bit of warping on the front end, but yeah, I couldn't believe it. I messed it up, just finished painting it, was really excited about the build. And yeah, I was pretty much ready to, obviously I would never throw anything away. I'd never throw anything away. But I was ready to put it back in the box, and it did go back in the box for a month or two, and I finally came up with an idea to weather it, and so I started to started that process. So I took the Dremel, and I was I don't know if I have the tool here, but anyways, I started sanding from in behind the body, around the wheel wells and the door, and it actually turned out pretty good for my first time. But it made holes in the body, and then I weathered those up. So I'll just get this turned around real quick and we'll have a look at this, and I'll kind of show you what I did. Okay, so here we are. This is the AMT 71 charger kit. Like I said, ruined the body. Came back to it a couple months later. So you can see on the roof how it dented or warped. warped it pretty bad. I ended up cutting a bit of this off because it was drooped down too much in a blob, so I trimmed it a little bit. But yeah, that's what happened. So anyways, so I started weathering this. It was already painted. Like I said, I came in from behind with the Dremel and made these holes. I used a super fine, kind of like these, but with a different tip. I don't have the tip on me right now, but it's more of a triangle tip. With the tip is it's like comes to a point, so you can get into tight spots with more precision, and it's this one is coarse, and the other one is not as coarse. It's a little more finer. So anyways, I did that in behind the panels, even got it on the door where you would normally see some weathering holes. Just weathered up the whole thing, was sanding it down. And how I did the windows is I used packaging, clear packaging. So this is one piece here, one whole piece. I cut out the middle of it, and then I used my little saw, and I went like this all the way around to make the jagged edge. I had some salt down in here to simulate there was some broken glass down in there, but all that obviously fell out. I did the same thing right here. You can see the jagged edge. Just basic black interior. I didn't do any detailing to this one. Box stock under the hood, so that was the color. Obviously I didn't weather the hood underneath, but I did paint the black on the hood. The RT would have left out one of the headlights and lenses. So this is, I put the license plate onto a embossing foil, so you can see it's once you get it on there and you use your micro saw to get it onto the embossing foil, so it sticks really good. And then you can bend it up to any shape that you want and it'll stay. So that turned out pretty cool. So just made another window. That one survived the crash, so did the back ones. So this is underneath. Some of my weathering is flaked off. I used so to create some texture on this exhaust, I used so the main color that I use, whoops, my tires are falling off, is raw sienna. It's a paste, acrylic. It's a thick paste. So I used that on the exhaust mixed with some cinnamon. So that's kind of flaked off on me over the years. So could use a touch up, but everything else is just weathered with with these weathering powders that I have. I bought these at a show years and years ago. So it turned out pretty cool in the end, and I call it Race, Rolled, and Forgotten. It's kind of the name I've given it. So it ended up turning out pretty good for my first weathering job. So it wasn't the traditional, I didn't use any of the traditional, well, I shouldn't say traditional, but any of the any of the how-tos you see on YouTube, you know, like hairspray or salt method. Didn't use any of that. It was already painted, so I had to sand and be very strategic with my sanding. And that's kind of how I do all my weather builds now. So yeah, that's, and I did use red underneath. It just happened that I used the red and the red primer, so it ended up working out really good. And so my mom had a Cougar. People always say, oh, why isn't this dented or anything else? Well, there's other dents on it. There's this one, there's that one. And the whole roof is dented. But my mom had a Cougar that my dad rolled, and it literally had no damage on the back, a little bit damage on the front and the roof, and it didn't even touch the back. So people always ask me, oh, why didn't it dent up the back or whatever? And, well, because the back didn't hit anything. Okay, well, I'm starting to ramble on, but this was my first weathered build. I thought I'd like to show it to you guys. This video is getting pretty long. And hope everyone's going to have a great Sunday, and I'm looking forward to watching the other Model Cars and Sunday videos. So hope everyone's doing well. Take care. Pat out. Model on.
Thank you. Thank you very much.